Welcome to the celebration of life. Grab your passport as we embark on a global journey, exploring diverse ecosystems and encountering fascinating animals. From Africa to Antarctica, the Arctic to Australia, Asia to Europe, and finally landing back in the Americas. Our adventure also includes a special spotlight on the animals right here in Chicago. Throughout this celebration, we honor and support the rescue efforts of famous Fido Rescue, dedicating donations to ensure animals find their forever homes. A heartfelt thank you to our supporters whose generosity has made this event possible. Join us now for an unforgettable show celebrating the beauty of life and the incredible creatures that enrich our world. Africa is home to a diverse array of wildlife, with some iconic species often referred to as the Big Five. These animals are crucial focal points for conservation efforts due to their ecological significance and cultural importance. The Big Five include the African elephant, African lion, African leopard, African buffalo, and the rhinoceros. Elephants, as the largest land mammal, hold a crucial position in ecosystem health by actively contributing to landscape shaping and seed dispersal. However, their existence faces formidable challenges in the form of poaching for ivory, habitat loss, and human-wildlife conflict. These threats pose significant risks to elephant populations, emphasizing the urgent need for conservation efforts to safeguard these majestic creatures and preserve the balance they bring to ecosystems. Lions, as apex predators, hold a crucial position in ecosystems by regulating prey populations and contributing to biodiversity maintenance. However, their populations across Africa face significant conservation challenges. Habitat loss driven by human activities poses a threat to their natural environments. Additionally, human-wildlife conflict arises as human populations expand into lion territories. The practice of trophy hunting further exacerbates the decline in lion populations. Addressing these conservation challenges is imperative to ensure the long-term survival of these majestic creatures and maintain the ecological balance they bring to their habitats. Leopards, as elusive and adaptable carnivores, play a crucial role in controlling herbivore populations and maintaining ecological balance. However, their existence faces significant conservation challenges. Habitat fragmentation, driven by human activities, poses a threat to natural habitats essential for leopards. Illegal trade further exacerbates their vulnerability, putting additional pressure on their populations. Moreover, conflicts with livestock owners creates a perilous situation for leopards, as it often leads to retaliatory killings. Addressing these conservation challenges is imperative to ensure the continued survival of these vital predators and the overall health of the ecosystems they inhabit. Buffaloes play a crucial role in maintaining ecological balance as herbivores, influencing the dynamics of vegetation within their habitats. However, despite their significance, buffalo populations face conservation challenges. Habitat loss, diseases, and illegal hunting pose threats to their existence, though they are comparatively less targeted than other Big Five species. Addressing these challenges becomes imperative to ensure the preservation of buffalo populations and the overall ecological harmony they contribute to. Rhinos play a crucial role in maintaining ecosystem health, making their conservation imperative for the preservation of biodiversity. However, these magnificent creatures face significant challenges that threaten their existence. The rampant poaching for their valuable horns, coupled with habitat loss and insufficient protection measures, has led to a decline in rhino populations. Addressing these conservation challenges is crucial to ensuring the survival of rhinos and maintaining the ecological balance they contribute to. Conservation efforts for the Big Five face numerous challenges, including habitat destruction, climate change, poaching, and conflicts between wildlife and human activities. International collaboration, community engagement, anti-poaching measures, and sustainable tourism are crucial components to addressing these challenges and ensuring the long-term survival of these iconic species.
Hi everyone, my name is Danica Oriole Morway and I am the country director at 4Paws USA. First off, I want to say thank you to Famous Fido for putting together this awesome event. This is super cool and exactly what we need right now. An opportunity to come together and to collaborate and to listen to our peers who are working on animal welfare issues all over the country, all over the world, and to inspire each other, to listen to each other, and to motivate each other to continue working and to continue making change and to find new ways to make change that make this world truly a better place for animals. I, of course, am very excited to talk about the organization I work for, which is 4Paws. And we are a global organization and we work on animal welfare issues anywhere from farm animal issues to wildlife in captivity to companion animal issues, disaster response. We do advocacy outreach. We have sanctuaries and rescue programs all over the world. I'm based here in Boston, Massachusetts, but we have offices in South Africa, Australia, Bulgaria, the UK, Switzerland, Germany. You know, we really are in Austria, which is where our headquarters are. We truly are a global organization, and we're really trying to tackle these animal welfare issues from a global perspective. And part of the work we do and focus on here in the US in particular is about mobilizing people and educating people about making this country and our impact on the world to be better towards animals and to make choices that alleviate the suffering of animals, both home and abroad. And one of our major public awareness campaigns we've been working on for the past few years is about advocating for big cat welfare and ending the private ownership of big cats here in the US, and also ending the exploitation of big cats for the entertainment industry, again, both home and abroad. Because 4Paws is a global organization, we truly get to see how these animals are being impacted from all angles, from all parts of the world, all corners of the world. And we realize, and as anybody who's working in animal welfare truly will realize, is that these animal welfare issues don't happen in silos. They don't happen in dark corners of the earth where nobody else, goes, or, it's truly, we are part of a global community now. And as a result, we have sometimes impact on issues and sometimes perpetuate issues we don't realize we're perpetuating, but we also don't realize that we can be part of solutions to problems we don't even know exist. And our organization, one of the things that we focus on obviously with big cats, and we have several big cat sanctuaries around the world. We do have and run one of the biggest big cat sanctuaries in the world, which is Lions Rock Sanctuary in South Africa. And right there in South Africa, big cats are really, they're facing one of the biggest threats, and that's namely trophy hunting. And that's trophy hunting that is perpetuated by U.S. citizens and tourists that unknowingly participate in an industry that on the surface seems very simple, but the reality is it's extremely complex. And the problem in South Africa, it's extensive. They have over between 8,000 and 12,000 big cats in captivity living on approximately 300 farms across the country. These animals, they're bred for a life of captivity, a life of exploitation, and ultimately a senseless death. They're breeding cubs and they're breeding lions for a life of captivity as a tourist attraction, but unknowingly these tourists are going there having, wanting to have this intimate experience and get to be able to touch a lion, to take pictures with them. But the reality is that what they're doing is just socializing these animals so that they're easier targets later in life. by being raised by hands, these lions don't demonstrate the fear or shyness of humans that they should. And after about 4 to 7 years, the lions have sort of reached their trophy hunting age, and that's where they're offered to hunters simply to be killed. And again, this is where many people don't realize that simple photo, that simple act of going and supporting these has such a longer traumatic consequence. But we can be a part of that change. We can stop this from happening. We absolutely can. And we can stop our participation in this issue. We can ban the import of these trophies into the US. We need to disincentivize these killings so that make it so they can't even bring them home. We can refuse to participate in these exploitation. Don't pay to go get your picture taken with a cub. Don't go and volunteer at an unaccredited, unregulated facility. Do your research and find out where you're going, who are you supporting, what are you supporting. Absolutely help promote the passage of the Big Cat Public Safety Act here in the US that helps end also the captive breeding, ownership, and exploitation of big cats here in the US. Together we can stop this, and we can have an impact soon. But we need to come together, and we need to educate, and we need to communicate. So it's about us talking to our friends, talking to our families, reminding people that picture is not just a picture, it's a lifetime of suffering. And don't be a part of that, be a part of the solution. So I hope that today, with a little bit of what we've talked about and a little bit of what we're learning, we can all walk away knowing and feeling empowered that we can make what seem like small choices that have huge impacts and huge positive consequences to help end an abusive industry. And the first step, as we know, is to learn and to talk about it. And then the second step is to do something about it. So thank you everyone for coming here today and participating, and anyone interested in finding out more information about 4Paws and what we do, check out our website at 4paws.us. Thank you again. It's been a pleasure. Onward and upward.
Antarctica, the southernmost continent, is a vast icy landmass, characterized by extreme cold and unique ecosystems. Despite its harsh conditions, diverse animal species have adapted to thrive in this remote environment. Iconic inhabitants include penguins, seals, krill, and various seabirds. The importance of animal welfare in Antarctica is paramount, as these species play crucial roles in maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Human activities, such as climate change and fishing, pose significant threats to these animals. To make a positive impact, it is essential for us to collectively adopt sustainable practices, mitigate climate change, and establish stringent conservation measures. By respecting the delicate Antarctic ecosystem and prioritizing the well-being of its wildlife, we can ensure the preservation of these incredible species for generations to come. The region's unique ecosystems are experiencing the adverse effects of global warming, leading to alterations in habitats and food sources for various species. The melting ice and shifting temperatures disrupt the delicate balance of Antarctic ecosystems, affecting the survival and reproductive patterns of numerous animals. Additionally, human activities pose a considerable risk to animal welfare in Antarctica. Fishing activities can disturb marine life and lead to overexploitation of fish stocks, while tourism may disturb nesting sites and disrupt the natural behavior of wildlife. Scientific research, though crucial for understanding the region, can inadvertently disturb ecosystems. Striking a balance between conservation efforts and human activities is imperative to ensure the preservation of Antarctica's remarkable biodiversity and the welfare of its unique animal inhabitants. The Arctic region is a polar area located around the North Pole, encompassing the Arctic Ocean and parts of Canada, Russia, Greenland, the United States, Norway, and Sweden. It is characterized by extreme cold temperatures, ice-covered seas, and unique ecosystems. The Arctic ecosystem is home to diverse wildlife, including iconic species such as polar bears, Arctic foxes, seals, and various bird species. These animals have adapted to the harsh conditions of the Arctic, relying on the region's sea ice and cold waters for their survival. Animal welfare is crucial for Arctic species due to the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Climate change and human activities such as oil and gas exploration and shipping pose significant threats to their habitats. The melting of sea ice affects the hunting and breeding patterns of predators like polar bears, impacting their ability to find food. Preserving animal welfare in the Arctic is not only essential for the well-being of individual species, but also for the overall health of the ecosystem. Maintaining the delicate balance of this unique environment is crucial for the conservation of biodiversity and the sustainability of the Arctic ecosystem as a whole. One of the major threats to Arctic foxes is climate change. As temperatures rise, their icy habitats are shrinking, affecting their access to prey. The changing climate also influences the availability of food resources, disrupting the delicate balance of their ecosystems. Arctic foxes have historically been hunted for their fur, which is prized for its insulating properties. While regulations exist to control hunting, illegal hunting still poses a threat to their populations. Human activities such as oil and gas development and infrastructure projects can lead to habitat loss for Arctic foxes. As human presence increases in the Arctic, it can result in disturbances to their natural environment. Increased human activities in the Arctic can also lead to changes in predator and prey dynamics. For example, increased shipping and tourism may introduce new predators or competitors to the Arctic foxes, impacting their survival. Addressing these challenges requires a combination of conservation efforts, sustainable management of natural resources, and international cooperation to mitigate the impacts of climate change on the Arctic ecosystems.
I'm Susan Millward, Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Animal Welfare Institute, a non-profit organisation founded in 1951. AWI works to reduce animal suffering caused by people and seeks better treatment of animals everywhere. In agriculture, in commerce, in our communities, in research, and in the wild.
And I'm Robin Jacobson, General Counsel and Chief Legal Officer at AWI. We'd like to thank Famous Fido Rescue for inviting us to participate in the 2023 Celebration of Life.
In the early years, AWI founder Christine Stevens sought to end the cruel treatment of animals in experimental laboratories. Inevitably, her work expanded to take on other animal welfare causes. Christine died in 2002, and Executive Director Kathy Liss took over the helm. Kathy retired in 2022, but remains chair of AWI's board of directors.
Based in Washington, D.C., with staff comprised of scientists, lawyers, and policy experts throughout North America, AWI advances our mission through strategically crafted policy and legal advocacy, educational programs, research, and engagement with industry, policymakers, scientists, educators, other nonprofit organizations, and the public.
As examples of our efforts, AWI works to abolish factory farms, support high welfare family farms, and achieve humane slaughter for animals raised for food.
Improve the housing and handling of animals used in research, and encourage the development and implementation of alternatives to experimentation on live animals.
End the use of steel jaw leg hold traps and other brutal methods of capturing and killing wildlife.
Preserve species threatened with extinction, and protect wildlife from harmful exploitation and destruction of critical habitat.
Protect companion animals from cruelty and violence, including appalling conditions in commercial trade.
And prevent injury and death of animals caused by harsh conditions of transport and confinement.
Our members and advocates support our work both financially and by using AWI's Action Centre to make their voices heard. In our Action Centre, you can contact your elected officials about critical animal welfare legislation, write a letter to the editor of your local newspaper, sign up to receive email alerts, and more.
Recently, in partnership with other nonprofits, AWI announced a historic settlement of a lawsuit against the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service that will aid the conservation and recovery of the world's only wild red wolf population and help pull them back from the brink of extinction.
And after years of AWI advocating for stronger policies to prevent misleading animal raising claims on food labels, the U.S. Department of Agriculture recently announced it will update its guidelines to strengthen the approval process for such claims.
We've also worked toward the introduction of important legislation to help animals, including most recently the Animal Welfare Enforcement Improvement Act, the Mink Virus Act, the Emergency and Disaster Preparedness for Farm Animals Act, the Marine Mammal Climate Change Protection Act, and the Save America's Forgotten Equines Act.
Additionally, we work to help reduce harmful wildlife trade throughout the world and are mobilizing to help establish a wildlife enforcement network to reduce wildlife trafficking in the wider Caribbean region. Your voice is important, and together our voices make a difference. Learn more about our work on our website at awionline.org.
Animal welfare in Asia, particularly for iconic species like pandas, tigers, and elephants, face significant challenges. Pandas native to China struggle due to habitat loss and fragmentation, impacting their ability to find sufficient bamboo, their primary food source. Tigers, found in various Asian countries, are threatened by poaching and habitat destruction, pushing them closer to the brink of extinction. Elephants face similar threats, with illegal ivory trade and loss of their natural habitats, putting them at risk. To address these challenges, concerted efforts are needed at both local and international levels. Conservation initiatives should focus on preserving and restoring natural habitats for these animals, implementing stricter anti-poaching measures, and combating the illegal wildlife trade. Community involvement is crucial, as raising awareness and garnering support can lead to sustainable conservation practices. Additionally, responsible tourism and ethical wildlife practices can contribute to the well-being of these species by ensuring that human interactions with animals prioritize their welfare. Furthermore, governments and organisations should collaborate to strengthen and enforce wildlife protection laws, ensuring the safety and conservation of these iconic species. Education plays a pivotal role, fostering a sense of responsibility and empathy towards animals. By promoting sustainable practices and respecting the natural behaviours of pandas, tigers, and elephants, we can contribute to the overall well-being of these majestic creatures and help secure their future in the wild.
Several animals are already considered endangered in Asia, including the orangutan, leopard, rhino, saola, tiger, elephant, and vaquita. Action is needed now to ensure they don't face extinction.
Hi, my name is Danielle Carnahan, and I'm a wildlife conservationist, writer, and content creator on my website, The Call to Conserve. Before I jump into things, I want to thank Famous Fido Rescue for inviting me back to speak with you again this year and for all the incredible work they're doing to care for animals in need. My main focus throughout my education and the start of my career has been on Asian elephant welfare and conservation. This work has brought me to several countries in Asia, including Thailand and most recently Nepal. This has allowed me to learn more about what elephants are enduring in the name of the tourism industry, and a topic that I feel is often really misunderstood is the role of a mahout. A mahout is the elephant caregiver and trainer who works in sanctuaries or hands-on elephant facilities around Asia. It's all too common to see photos or short videos of elephants online where they're being chained up, beaten, ridden, or mistreated in some way. These videos, while they're important to show the realities of some facilities, have given captive facilities a really bad name and have made mahouts out to be incredibly cruel. However, this often isn't the case. Mahouts sometimes, they do have to ride their elephants. This is part of their job, and it allows them to give the elephants more freedom and more time out of the enclosures, depending on the facility. And yes, mahouts sometimes do have to utilize chains, but this could be to complete a medical procedure that the elephant really needs for their health and welfare. And yes, these things can be done in cruel ways, but they can also be done in reasonable ways. And it's important to remember that because the reality is elephants are incredibly dangerous, and therefore there is a lot more than meets the eye when it comes to proper management. These are the kind of topics that don't get enough attention and that I focus on my personal platform. My goal is to speak candidly through my blog, my membership, and the social media posts that I put onto Instagram and Facebook to better educate people about issues that are commonly avoided in the media. You can follow along with me and learn how to give back to more ethical organizations through my platform, and all of those are linked on my background. I hope to catch up with you all virtually, either on my website, my Instagram, or my Facebook. And please don't ever hesitate to reach out to me via email, Instagram DMs, Facebook Messenger, whatever it may be, with any questions you may have. Thank you so much for attending this event, and thank you again to Famous Fido for inviting me. I hope to talk to you guys soon.
G'day and welcome to Australia. Today we're going to marvel at the wonders of Australia's extraordinary wildlife and biodiversity. This vast and unique continent is a treasure trove of life, boasting a diversity that is unlike any other place on Earth. Let us embark on a journey through the enchanting world of Australia's flora and fauna. First and foremost, Australia is renowned for its marsupials. These distinctive mammals, which carry and nurture their young in pouches, include the iconic kangaroos, koalas, wallabies, and wombats. Picture the Australian landscape, where these creatures roam freely, embodying the spirit of the continent. Yet, Australia doesn't stop there. It introduces us to the fascinating world of monotremes. Here we encounter the platypus and echidna, two remarkable egg-laying mammals that defy conventional reproductive norms, adding a touch of peculiarity to the Australian fauna. In the skies above, the avian diversity is nothing short of spectacular. Colourful parrots like the rainbow lorikeet, emus and kookaburras, with their distinctive laughter-like calls, grace the Australian skies, creating a symphony of natural beauty. Venture into the reptilian realm and you'll discover the awe-inspiring saltwater crocodile, one of the largest of its kind. Australia is also home to various snakes, lizards and turtles, each with its unique charm and significance to the intricate web of life. Beneath the foliage, the world of insects unfolds with a kaleidoscope of colours and forms. Australia's isolation has given rise to a myriad of unique and captivating butterflies, showcasing the beauty that thrives in every nook and cranny of this vast land. Dive into the azure waters astounding Australia and you'll encounter the marvel that is the Great Barrier Reef. This coral wonder hosts a plethora of marine life, from vibrant corals to dazzling array of fish species, making it a testament to the underwater paradise that graces Australia's shores. Amidst the biological extravaganza, Australia's unique flora stands tall. The eucalyptus tree, with its diverse species, defines the landscape, while the kangaroo paw and the ancient Wollemi pine, a living fossil, add tapestry of the botanical wonders. However, as we celebrate the marvels of Australian biodiversity, we must also acknowledge the challenges it faces. Habitat loss, climate change, and invasive species that threaten this precious heritage. It's our responsibility to champion conservation efforts, ensuring that the legacy of Australia's unique wildlife endures for generations to come. Let us stand in awe of Australia's natural wonders, recognising the importance of preserving and protecting this incredible tapestry of life. May we be inspired to become stewards of the environment, safeguarding the diversity that makes Australia a true marvel on the global stage. Let's talk about the incredible strides Australia is making to protect our oceans and wildlife. Our beautiful planet is facing challenges, and it's heartening to see the initiatives Australia has embraced to make a positive impact. In the battle against plastic pollution, Australia is leading the charge. From banning single-use plastic bags to swapping plastic straws for eco-friendly alternatives like paper, communities and businesses are making a conscious effort to reduce our plastic footprint. It's a small change with a big impact, and it starts with each one of us. But the challenges don't end there. Australia has faced devastating bushfires, putting our wildlife at risk. In response, initiatives have been launched to rescue and rehabilitate our furry and feathered friends, from wildlife rescue operations to habitat restoration projects. The commitment to preserving our unique ecosystems is unwavering. Now, what can you do? It's simple, yet powerful. Firstly, let's reduce our reliance on single-use plastics. Embrace reusable items like bags and water bottles. Every choice you make contributes to a cleaner, healthier planet. Secondly, support the heroes on the front lines, the wildlife conservation organisations. Your contributions or volunteer efforts make a real difference in protecting and rehabilitating animals affected by bushfires. Join local cleanup initiatives, removing plastic waste from our beaches and parks. It's a collective effort and your involvement matters. Stay informed about environmental policies and initiatives in your community. Advocate for sustainable practices because change starts at home.
And let's be fire responsible. Follow safety guidelines, especially in fire-prone areas, to minimize the risk of wildfires and their impact on our precious wildlife. We all have a role to play in safeguarding our planet. Australia is setting an example, and by adopting these simple changes, each one of us becomes a steward of the earth. Together we can create a future where our oceans are free of plastic, our wildlife thrives, and our planet flourishes.
Hey everyone, welcome. My name is Jordan Gray with the Turtle Survival Alliance, and I want to send a big thank you to Famous Fidos for inviting us to their celebration of life. And a big thank you to all of you out there who are not only watching and participating, but dedicate your time to helping animals all over the world. If you've never heard about the Turtle Survival Alliance, together with our partners, we are the largest and most comprehensive tortoise and freshwater turtle organization on Earth. The Turtle Survival Alliance has a mission of zero turtle extinctions. And that's because right now, of the 349 species of turtle and tortoise across this world, more than half are threatened with extinction. That is more than any order of vertebrate on the planet. So I want you all to check out this video, see a little bit about what we do and where we work. And if you're interested in learning more about the Turtle Survival Alliance, please contact us, because we would love for you to join in our mission of zero turtle extinctions in the 21st century. Thanks, Famous Fidos, and thanks to everyone watching.
Hi, my name is Carla Eisenberg. I am the Program Director at For the Love of Alex, and this is Alex II. He is our namesake, and he helps us fundraise for pets in need. We are honored to be invited by Famous Fido's Rescue to join in the celebration of life for all animals throughout the world and the environment in which we live in. For the Love of Alex is a national 501c3 nonprofit organization that helps fund life-saving and emergency veterinarian care for pets whose families are low income. We strive for a successful outcome for the pet and also an enhanced quality of life for their human companions. Since 2013, our vital support has helped hundreds of pet owners avoid making a heart-wrenching decision to either euthanize their pet or surrender it to an overcrowded shelter just because of financial hardship. No family should ever have to say goodbye to their beloved fur baby prematurely just because they don't have the money to pay for these emergency visits. Our vision is to end economic euthanasia. The pets that we help have responsible pet owners. These families take care of their pets' daily necessities like food, water, shelter. They provide a loving and safe home. And they provide them with routine medical care. But sometimes an accident happens or a pet becomes suddenly sick. And just to walk into an emergency room visit now, you're often facing $200, and that does not include any diagnostic testing and treatment or perhaps surgery. Often these veterinarian visits turn into thousands of dollars, and a low-income family just cannot afford it. We know the importance that a pet has on its owner's mental, physical, and emotional well-being. A lot of the people that receive funding from us, the elderly or the disabled, and their pet is their constant companion, perhaps the only companion that they have day to day in their lives. And to have to say goodbye to their pet because they just cannot afford an emergency visit is tragic. For the Love of Alex was founded in 2013 by Elizabeth Hedges after her beloved kitty Alex I became very sick. Alex had painful bladder stones and he needed surgery as soon as possible. Luckily for Alex, Elizabeth had the funding to pay for his emergency surgery. Alex had surgery and made a full recovery. But during her checkout, after picking Alex up from the emergency clinic, she saw other families in the waiting room with their pets. But one family did not have their pet with them, and they were distraught. They had just euthanized their pet because they didn't have the money to pay for its emergency veterinarian care. This tragedy turned into a celebration of life for other pet owners. Elizabeth started For the Love of Alex. She used her own funding to get it off the ground, and she worked tirelessly by herself, saving hundreds of lives until her death in 2018. For the Love of Alex wasn't going to survive without Elizabeth. but a group of her friends got together and For the Love of Alex was reborn in 2019. We strive to continue Elizabeth's mission and her vision, and we continue to help other pets that need help now. Learn more about us on our website, www.fortheloveofalex.org, and you can also find us on social media. Thank you to everyone that is participating in this celebration of life for all creatures great and small. Thank you and have a great day.
Let's take a look at animal welfare in Europe. This continent, with its diverse ecosystems, demands our collective responsibility to ensure the well-being of its inhabitants. Let's begin by acknowledging the challenges faced by animals like wolves, deer, and squirrels in Europe. Urbanization, habitat loss, and human activities pose significant threats to their natural habitats, disrupting the delicate balance of nature. Wolves struggling to survive, deer populations affected by changes in land use and hunting, and squirrels losing nesting sites due to deforestation. All face these challenges. The additional impact of climate change further complicates their situation. On a positive note, there has been commendable progress in Europe towards animal welfare. Many countries have implemented conservation programs and stricter regulations to protect endangered species. Notably, efforts to reintroduce wolves have shown promising results, contributing to the restoration of ecosystems. However, our work is far from complete. To sustain and build upon this positive trajectory, we can take the following steps. Support conservation initiatives. Back organizations dedicated to wildlife conservation. These entities often rely on public support for critical projects aimed at protecting and preserving diverse species. Advocate for sustainable practices. Encourage sustainable land use and development practices that consider the impact on local ecosystems. Striking a balance between human needs and wildlife preservation is key to fostering coexistence. Promote responsible tourism. Choose eco-friendly and wildlife-conscious tourism options. Responsible tourism ensures that local ecosystems and wildlife are respected and protected. Stay informed and engage. Stay informed about local and regional policies affecting wildlife, and actively engage with local communities and authorities to promote responsible stewardship of the environment. Let us commit to being stewards of this planet and guardians of its diverse inhabitants. Through collective effort and cooperation, we can pave the way for a future where wolves, deer, squirrels, and all creatures thrive alongside us in harmony.
Hunting in Europe, despite its historical and cultural significance, raises considerable ethical and animal welfare concerns that cannot be overlooked. While proponents of hunting argue that it helps in wildlife management, the methods employed, such as trophy hunting, often prioritize individual pleasure over ecological balance. Trophy hunting, where animals are killed primarily for their heads, hides, or other body parts, not only disrupts ecosystems, but also raises questions about the moral justifications behind such practices. Furthermore, the potential for animals suffering during hunting is a significant issue. Animals may endure prolonged pain and distress before succumbing to injuries inflicted by hunters. This contradicts principles of humane treatment and raises doubts about the ethicality of hunting as a recreational activity. The concept of fair chase is often challenged, especially when considering the use of high-powered weapons and other modern technologies that tip the balance heavily in favor of hunters. In the context of evolving attitudes towards animal welfare, it is imperative to reassess the ethical implications of hunting practices in Europe. Conservation efforts can still be pursued through alternative means, as habitat protection and non-lethal population control methods, which do not compromise the well-being of individual animals. The shift towards more compassionate and ecologically sustainable practices is necessary to address the growing concerns surrounding hunting in the modern era. Let's take a look at wolves, for instance. The hunting of wolves in Europe has raised serious concern among conservationists due to its potential ecological consequences. Wolves, as apex predators, play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of ecosystems. By regulating the populations of herbivores, they influence vegetation and other wildlife. The removal of wolves can disrupt this delicate equilibrium, leading to overpopulation of certain species and cascading effects on the broader ecosystem. The loss of biodiversity and disturbance of trophic cascades are among the ecological issues associated with wolf hunting. Apart from their ecological significance, wolves also hold cultural importance in many European societies. They are symbolic creatures in folklore, mythology, and traditional beliefs. The hunting of wolves not only affects the natural balance, but also affects in the loss of cultural heritage associated with these majestic animals. Efforts to reintroduce and conserve wolf populations in Europe have been ongoing, and hunting can undermine these conservation initiatives, hindering progress made in restoring viable wolf populations in regions where they were once extinct. While some argue for the need to control wolf populations to address conflicts with the livestock and human safety concerns, others advocate for sustainable and well-regulated conservation practices. Striking a balance between human interests and the preservation of wolves is crucial to ensure the health of ecosystems and the continuation of cultural connections with these iconic creatures in Europe.
Hi, my name is Maddie Witt, and I'm the Education Supervisor at the International Wolf Center. I want to thank Famous Fido for inviting us to speak once again at the Celebration of Life event. And I want to revisit who we are as an organization, what we do here, and give you a bit of an update about what we've been up to in the last year or so. So here at the International Wolf Center, we are a science-based education organization. What that means is our goal is to teach people scientific information about wolves to help dispel any myths and misinformation that are out there about them. So our mission is to advance the survival of wolf populations by teaching about wolves, their relationship to wildlands, and the human role in their future. So we teach about all aspects of wolves. They are a very controversial animal for many reasons, and so it's our goal to help people understand them better as a species. We do a lot of that work here in our visitor center in Ely, Minnesota. So we are way up north in the heart of wild wolf territory. And if you were to visit the visitor center, there is a variety of things that you can do here. We have an interactive exhibit called Discover Wolves, where you can enter the perspective of a wolf researcher, learn more about them and their history. And we have a theater that shows documentaries about wolves throughout the day, and my favorite, live presentations on various topics from our trained educators here at the center. So those are just some of the things you can do if you do visit. We do also have quite a variety of outreach and virtual programs as well. We have our WolfLink programs for schools and community organizations, where we can connect with groups over Zoom, teach an interactive lesson about wolves, and then patch them into our live feed cameras here as well. We also have our webinars, both with biologists, so the people that are out there in the field researching wolves now, you can get an update about what they are working on and ask them questions, as well as our wolf care staff that helps to care for our resident pack of ambassador wolves. They will hold webinars as well, talking about all aspects of caring for our wolves, the changing seasons, and all of the fun stuff that's going on here at the Wolf Center. So we do have our live pack here, and the reason we have ambassador wolves is to help teach people. So we believe that the best way for people to understand and connect with wolf behavior is to be able to see them through our large windows here at the center. Wolves are very elusive in the wild. It's difficult to observe these behaviors. So we want to give people the opportunity to do that here as they learn about wolves. So the adult members of our exhibit pack right now are Axel and Grayson. They are 5 years old, and they are the Arctic subspecies of the gray wolf, which is why they have those bright white coats. You would find this subspecies in northern Greenland and some of the Arctic islands around that area as well. Axel and Grayson are littermates. They came to us in 2016, and they were joined most recently by our newest ambassador, Rika. So Rika has been quite the star of our show here this summer. She is a northwestern subspecies of the gray wolf. So you would find that subspecies in the western half of North America and Canada, places like the Rocky Mountains region, Yellowstone, and Alaska. So Rika, she was born on May 23rd, 2021, and she was introduced to our exhibit pack on August 9th of this year. And she has settled in well to that exhibit pack. She is particularly close with our adult ambassador, Grayson, and you may see them doing some play behaviors with each other, some chasing, and doing things like greeting by licking muzzles and wagging their tails as well. So we're excited to watch her grow up in our exhibit and become a full-fledged ambassador in her own right. We also have one other wolf that lives here with us, and that is Grizzer. Grizzer is part of our retirement pack. So here at the center, we have a separate pack that is retired from public view. And we have retirement here to be a slower pace of life for our older wolves, our older individuals. They live quite a bit longer here in captivity than they do in the wild, and that means they deal with all of the things that come with aging, like arthritis and other health concerns. And those things often make it difficult to deal with the social dynamics and the rambunctiousness of the younger wolves in our exhibit pack. So we provide retirement for them, again, as a slower pace of life, as a place where they can receive more individualized care, any special medications they're on, massages or body work for any issues they have. And that's a place where they don't have to compete with the other wolves in the pack for attention or for food as well. So it's just a little bit more of a relaxed area for them. Grizzer is 17 years old. He's the oldest wolf we've ever managed at the center. And he is the Great Plains subspecies of the gray wolf. So the kind of wolf you find here in the Midwest and just north of us in that area of Canada as well. Since Grizzer is the only wolf in the retirement pack, to make sure he gets enough social stimulation, we've provided him with a small window into our exhibit pack where he can go up, watch them, check them out, and even have a little bit of interaction through the fence. So even though you can't see Grizzer here from the building if you come and visit, you can always check in on him and our exhibit pack on our live webcams online on wolf.org. So we have webcams on all of our enclosures. And just recently, we're really excited to have started a partnership with explore.org for a couple of our cameras, where we're hosted on their site and also log on to answer questions in a chat forum there as well. So you can certainly check that out and check in on our wolves anytime. So with that, I want to send you off with a little goodbye from our ambassadors, Grayson and Rika. I hope you're having a wonderful event, and thank you again for having me. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.
Hi everyone, I'm Arnaud Debier from the Wild Animal Conservation Institute, and I would like to thank Famous Fido for inviting us to their Celebration of Life event. If you have never heard about the Wild Animal Conservation Institute, well, together with our partners, we are dedicated to saving two of the most emblematic species of Brazil, the giant armadillo and the giant anteater. We're seeking to find solutions for a better coexistence with people. Both of these species are classified as vulnerable to extinction and face many threats, such as habitat loss, poaching, collisions with vehicle, and also conflict, of course, some conflicts with people. For the giant armadillo, we have been working here in the Brazilian Pantanal for the last 12 years. Learning more about this species, about which almost nothing was known when we started. And we have been applying this knowledge to several biomes in Brazil. For example, in the Cerrado, we are seeking solutions to help beekeepers coexist with the giant armadillos. Giant armadillos have learned how to predate beehives. And so, however, by implementing methods such as raising the hives, fencing the hives, they can prevent from giant armadillo attacks. And beekeepers who participate in this program acquire a certification. And they can put this on their honey. And now this honey is being purchased for more money. So the beekeepers are benefiting from protecting the giant armadillo. For the giant anteater, we are working mostly on the threat from vehicle collisions, seeking to implement mitigation measures to protect giant anteaters and prevent them from colliding with vehicles on the road. And this not only protects lots of other animals, it also protects people, because people also get hurt when they collide with wild animals. So we are seeking the Anteaters and Highways project to make roads safer for everyone. And another project we work on is we are reintroducing orphaned giant anteaters whose mothers have died on the highway. And so we are bringing them back to nature. And during this work, we have also realized that there is a conflict with dog owners. Sometimes dogs attack giant anteaters, and this can be very bad. Giant anteaters get hurt, dogs get hurt, and sometimes the owners get hurt when they try to separate them. And so we're now working in the Projeto Convivência to help dog owners train their dogs, take better care of their dogs to prevent these kinds of attacks. Thank you so much to the Famous Fido for inviting us to this event, and thank you everyone who is watching. If you want to learn more about our work, please check on our social media, and we would be more than happy to chat with you. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Gloria Listener, and I'm the president of Famous Fido Rescue and Adoption Alliance. Now, it's an overwhelming epidemic and crisis throughout our nation that dogs are abandoned because people move, they have babies, they just don't want them anymore.
I met Gloria about 2.5 years ago. She had rescued a dog from Animal Care and Control where I'd been volunteering. Since that time, I've seen many, many, many beautiful lives saved from overcrowded shelters, which I'm very grateful for.
My passion with the rescue is to work with Gloria in rescuing and transporting dogs from local animal shelters.
Pulling dogs from the rescue is a very emotional, of the shelter rather, is a very emotional thing to do, because while you're there, knowing that you're going to be saving one animal, dog or cat, from euthanasia, you see a trail of people relinquishing animals, their personal animals, into the shelter while you're waiting to take one animal out.
What the no-kill advocacy is, to me, is no more animals being homeless, being brought to shelters, euthanized for cage space. And our issue is the animal abandonment issue. No more animals in shelters euthanized for cage space, and no more animals brought to shelters in the first place.
Gloria is one of those gals who has a very deep reverence for life.
The problem we face is that the public doesn't speak about dumping animals. We don't talk about people relinquishing animals. There are solutions that people don't have to go down to the shelter to dump their animals.
When they enter the shelter system, they're scared, they're full of despair. They usually catch kennel cough or pneumonia, and they're euthanized for cage space. A movement really needs to be created to change the way we look at these animals and do not consider them property.
I do appreciate the way that Famous Fido is kind of homing in on an issue that's important to address, and that is helping people rehome animals versus just quickly dumping them.
Okay, over the years, I estimate we have saved thousands of animals. Since 2012 to 2013, we've saved 600 animals.
Many of these animals, again, have been abused, neglected, haven't been worked with properly, and they need rehabilitation, they need training, they need positive reinforcement.
It also costs a lot of money, and it takes a lot of people to rescue a dog. An individual dog, their vetting expenses can be up to $2,000, and the adoption fee that we charge is $200 for an animal.
If I had one goal, it would be to stop the abandonment of animals at any local animal control.
We work very hard on helping these guys and seeing them through to giving them a new life. Our dream is to build a bigger space so we can save more animals and develop a learning center where people can come and learn about these animals and get counseled and for the rehoming network. We need this environment to help these animals so they can find good homes and we can eliminate people bringing their animals to shelters.
And we need more advocates, more good rescues, more volunteers who not only are at animal care, but are communicating with people before people even enter animal care, for example, because there are ways to rehome your animal.
Without your help, they don't have a voice. We need corporate sponsors. We need grants. We need private citizens to help these animals by becoming monthly donors and sponsoring these dogs. Please help these guys. Without you, we can't do this job.
At any given time, Famous Fido Rescue houses approximately 100 to 130 cats and dogs. These animals come to us from heartbreaking backgrounds of abuse, illness, trauma, injury, neglect, and abandonment. Some were callously left behind in apartments, mere afterthoughts when families moved away. Others were discarded in boxes or by our dumpster, as if their lives were disposable as an old piece of furniture. The stories we encounter are heart-wrenching. Families claiming they didn't have the time or simply didn't want these innocent beings. Senior animals who should be enjoying their golden years often face the fate of abandonment. Some were left at veterinary clinics, others isolated in basements or garages. Tragically, some lost their families due to death, with no relatives willing to provide a loving home. When these animals arrive at Famous Fido Rescue, we witness their stress, panic, and the deep sense of loss. They go through depression and anxiety, waiting and hoping for the people who will never return. It's a painful reality that we can never fully communicate to them that something better awaits, just around the corner. What sets Famous Fido Rescue apart is our commitment to those who are often overlooked. The seniors, the ones with medical issues, behavioural challenges, and those who are bonded with others. In a different setting, they might face the risk of euthanasia in a kill shelter, but here they're given the second chance they are truly worthy of. Yet, our mission comes with its challenges. There are times when we're strapped for space, tight on funds, and have only a small team of dedicated volunteers available to care for these animals daily. This is where we need your help. We humbly request your support to ensure that these deserving animals continue to receive the care and love they need. There are various ways you can make a difference. Consider donating to support their housing, food, and medical care. You can choose to sponsor an animal, providing direct assistance to one in need. Volunteering at our centre is another invaluable way to contribute. Your time and dedication can make a world of difference. And for those looking to make an everlasting impact, consider adopting. Giving these animals a forever home where they can experience the love and care they deserve. I implore each one of you to visit our website, famousfidorescue.org, and explore the different avenues through which you can contribute. Your support today can mean a brighter tomorrow for these resilient souls. Together, let's make Famous Fido Rescue a beacon of hope and compassion for animals in need.
volunteer here at Famous Fido Rescue. I kind of volunteered to be Gloria's husband for the past 41 years. And she's quite an amazing woman. She has never wavered from her love for these animals and for doing the rescue that she does. Because in rescue, there's no rest in rescue. And she never rests, she never stops, she goes 24/7. And that's why I do what I do, because she's an amazing woman, a special kind of person that you rarely meet. I love you, Flo. This one's for you. It's a hard world, they push you down, but it's a cold world when you're in the ground. It's a funny situation, full of clowns, but it's no joke when your nights go out. Do you remember when we used to be free? Now they know what's best for you and me. It's a hard world, full of clowns, but it's a hot world when the bombs come down. It's a losing situation all around. When the heads roll, we all fall down. Can't stop the madness, it's the natural way. We become both predator and prey. Old men choose when young men die, while mothers sit at home alone and cry. It's a sad world. Some people say maybe tomorrow it'll go away. Maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow it'll go away.
Let's explore the unique and diverse animal species inhabiting the beautiful continent of South America. From the enchanting anteater to the resilient armadillo, the majestic llama to the playful monkey, and the vibrant parrot, South America is home to an array of extraordinary beings. However, they face numerous challenges that demand our immediate attention and concerted efforts. Let us consider the individual struggles that these remarkable animals endure in their natural habitats. The anteater, with its long snout and tongue, faces habitat loss and fragmentation due to deforestation. Armadillos, known for their armored exterior, are threatened by destruction of their habitats and the illegal wildlife trade. Llamas, domesticated for centuries, often contend with overgrazing and competition for resources. Monkeys, the epitome of agility and intelligence, confront habitat loss and exploitation. Parrots, with their vibrant plumage, are often victims of illegal pet trade and habitat degradation. Collectively, these animals are grappling with the challenges that extend beyond their individual struggles. Climate change, driven by human activities, poses a significant threat to their environments, affecting their ecosystems and altering their natural behaviours. The interconnectedness of these species within their ecosystems underscores the importance of addressing the challenges as a whole. Conservation measures must be implemented urgently to ensure the survival and well-being of these remarkable creatures. Preservation of natural habitats is paramount, requiring strict regulations on deforestation and sustainable land use practices. Additionally, combating illegal wildlife trade and enforcing stricter penalties for those involved will help protect these animals from exploitation. Community engagement and education are key elements in fostering a culture of conservation. Local communities must be empowered to become stewards of their natural surroundings, understanding the delicate balance between human activities and the well-being of these animals. Furthermore, international collaboration and support for conservation initiatives can play a pivotal role in addressing these challenges on a larger scale. The preservation of animal welfare in South America demands our immediate and collective action. By addressing the challenges faced by the anteater, armadillo, llama, monkey, and parrot, we contribute to the conservation of biodiversity and the overall health of our planet. Let us stand together, united in our commitment to safeguarding the future of these incredible creatures and the ecosystems they call home.
Do I consider a sanctuary life a life worth living? Well, as a sanctuary keeper, as a sanctuary director, I certainly feel my life is worth living. As far as do I think a sanctuary is worthwhile for the residents who live in the sanctuary, that is the animals for whom the sanctuary was created? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's wonderful. I think it's too bad that we have to have a sanctuary where animals come to live because the world outside treats them so badly. But given that that's the way life is, at least up to this point, a sanctuary is a wonderful and a needed place for as many animals as can be rescued from abusive situations, neglectful situations, all kinds of bad situations for them, and brought into a place of relative peace and harmony and good care, and where they're able to live as close to how they would choose to live as possible. Many people who have never known a chicken and who only knew them as something they buy at the supermarket or order at a restaurant and have on their plate or in their mouth, suddenly meet actual chickens or actual turkeys at a sanctuary. And I certainly want to believe that for many people who visit an animal sanctuary, that experiences, if it's a farmed animal sanctuary, will cause them to not want to eat animals anymore, not want to be part of the abuse of animals who are considered to be a food source. And also see those animals being loved and cared for by the people who love and care for them. So it shows them a different relationship between humans and those animals than perhaps they had ever known existed before. My view is that we want to maximize protection of the animals in a sanctuary, in our case, chickens mainly, as opposed to controlling them. We want to protect them against predators and against any kind of suffering that could come upon them by whatever means. So, for example, here at our sanctuary in Machipongo, Virginia, on the eastern shore of Virginia, in 2014, we enclosed 12,000 square feet so that our birds could be outside where we are here right now in the open air all the time. We have the houses for them to go into as they choose inside the 12,000 square foot sanctuary, but they can sleep in the trees and the bushes at night if they prefer, and they can be outdoors. So we never want the chickens to be at the mercy of a non-human predator any more than we want them to be at the mercy of a human predator. So a sanctuary is a refuge. It's a place for the, in our case, the chickens to be able to enjoy life as much as possible according to their nature and their desires. That's what I believe we give them here. Good veterinary care is very important. And I would say if you're going to keep chickens, whether it's backyard chickens or a sanctuary or whatever type of animal you're going to give sanctuary to, you need to have a veterinarian lined up in advance. You need to know that they're going to be able to get the same medical care that you would want for yourself or your dog or your cat or your own, any family member, because they're going to get ill sometimes. They're going to develop respiratory problems or any number of illnesses, just like any living creature can develop, and they are entitled to good medical care. I really think that if you can do what we're doing here, most people would have a smaller scale type of operation than what we have here, but to try to see if you can find a good building contractor who can enclose your chicken yard so that no predators can get inside, so they can be outside to their heart's content, so they can feel the breeze and the wind and experience the snow and the sunlight, etc., but without being at the mercy of an attack. Chickens deserve and require cleanliness in their houses, in their yards. So they're like everybody else. If they're living in filth, they're going to be unhappier. They're going to be more susceptible to diseases of various kinds. And you just have to keep a clean place. And that means you have to get outside every day and clean up the droppings and make sure they have fresh straw or fresh wood chips. You have an obligation to anybody who you take into your care, whether they're chickens or dogs or cats or whoever they may be. Those are the things that I believe are essential components of having a good sanctuary, where you're going to be happy with the animals you're giving a sanctuary to, and they're going to be happy in the sanctuary environment that you are providing for them.
Welcome to North America. Our continent is home to a diverse array of flora and fauna, a testament to the richness of our natural heritage. However, this abundance is under threat, and it's our responsibility to take action. In the vast landscapes of North America, there exists a delicate balance that sustains life. Among its inhabitants are some majestic creatures, such as the grizzly bear, the red wolf, the ocelot, and the California condor, which sadly find themselves on the brink of extinction. These species face a myriad of challenges, ranging from habitat loss and human activity to the looming spectre of climate change. Habitat loss, driven by urbanization and industrial expansion, deprives these creatures of the spaces they need to thrive. Human activities, such as deforestation and pollution, further exacerbate the problem, pushing these species to the edge of survival. Moreover, the looming threat of climate change poses an existential challenge, altering ecosystems and disrupting the delicate balance that sustains the web of life. Yet, amidst these challenges, there is a glimmer of hope. Conservation efforts have shown us that positive change is possible. The remarkable recovery of the American bald eagle, the American alligator, and the whooping crane serves as a testament to the impact of dedicated conservation initiatives. These success stories remind us that with concerted effort and shared commitment to protecting our natural heritage, we can turn the tide for the endangered species in North America. To safeguard the future of our wildlife, we must adopt a multifaceted approach. Firstly, we must prioritize habitat preservation and restoration, ensuring that these spaces essential for these species are protected from further encroachment. This requires responsible land use planning and the establishment of wildlife corridors to facilitate safe movement between fragmented habitats. Secondly, addressing the root cause of human-wildlife conflict is paramount. Public awareness and education initiatives can foster understanding and appreciation for the importance of coexisting with these species. By promoting responsible practices and sustainable living, we can mitigate the impact of human activities on the habitats of endangered species. Lastly, we must confront the global challenge of climate change head-on, committing to sustainable practices, reducing carbon emissions, and advocating for policies that prioritize environmental conservation are critical steps in ensuring a stable climate for the diverse ecosystems of North America. The fate of North America's wildlife rests in our hands. It's a collective responsibility, one that transcends borders and affiliations. Let us be stewards of a legacy that we can be proud to pass on to future generations. Through unwavering commitment and decisive action, we can secure a future where the grizzly bear, the red wolf, the ocelot, and the California condor not only survive, but thrive in the wild landscapes they call home.
Hi, my name is Tamara Kelly, and this is Kylo right here, and we are with Orca Conservancy. Thank you, Fido's Rescue, for having us on for a third year in a row to talk about Orca Conservancy, the work we're doing, and how we are trying to protect the southern resident killer whales. So if you are new to the killer whale world, the southern resident killer whales are a genetically distinct population of orcas that range up in the Pacific Northwest. And currently their numbers are only at 75 individuals remaining, when they should be up in the hundreds or 200s. So we at Orca Conservancy are doing the work to try to recover this population. And just some more information about the southern residents is that they face a lot of problems that's making them endangered. But the three major issues are lack of prey. They depend on Chinook salmon, which is currently on the decline. vessel disturbance and noise. So these orcas use echolocation to find their food. And so this is a very high traffic area for cargo and ferries. And so it's very loud water, and that impairs their ability to find their food. And then lastly, we have toxic pollution. So there's all these chemicals that enter the water, and then they get into the food chain and they work their way up the food chain and are ultimately stored in the bodies of these killer whales, and it's not good for them. So at Orca Conservancy, we have a handful of initiatives that we are working on to try to mitigate these threats that impact the southern resident killer whales. I'll start with the AI hydrophone project. So we're using hydrophones, which are underwater microphones, and you can actually stream these. So we're not the only ones that host a hydrophone, but you can listen to them 24/7, and I will send the links to go on the information page. But these hydrophones are connected to AI technology that's been programmed to detect whale calls. And so when the AI picks up a whale call, it sends it to us so we can confirm, because sometimes it doesn't always get it right. Sometimes it'll pick up like a squeaky boat or a bird and mistake it for a whale. So we do have a human component there to confirm. And once we've confirmed, then we can notify select agencies like cargo companies, Washington State ferries, enforcement research, and say, hey, there's critically endangered whales here, keep an eye out, go slow, give them plenty of space. And so the idea behind this program is to mitigate the noise disturbance to these whales, to give them plenty of space so that they can find their food. Some other projects we are also working on are salmon habitat restoration. So we and our partners work in various spots along the Seuss Creek and Duwamish River, down south of Seattle, and we are removing invasive plant species and replacing them with native plant trees and shrubs. And so what this is going to do is it's going to help keep rivers cool. It's going to provide habitat for the insects that salmon eat. It'll prevent erosion, and it'll also help filter toxic chemicals from getting into the waterway. So this restoration work is really important for not only the salmon recovery element, but also the pollution side of it too. And then we also have a water temperature testing initiative where on the Snoqualmie River during the spring through the fall, volunteers go and take water samplings, and we do temperature tests as well as chemistry to monitor the water quality. And the idea behind this is so we can get data to just see how this river system is doing, so we can possibly identify future restoration sites and even use this data to help protect the ecosystem as well. And lastly, I want to talk about one of our big efforts we participated in last year, and that was in late September of 2023, 2 orcas had been trapped in Barnes Lake, Alaska for a total of 6 weeks, and our scientists went up to assist NOAA and DFO, as well as the citizens up in the area, to get these whales out of the lake. If you want to learn, I'm running out of time, so if you want to learn more about that, you can go to our website and read up about it. It's in our blog, so you can find more information about us. We're www.orcaconservancy.org, and thank you guys so much.
Famous Fido Rescue, we are on a mission to break the cycle of abandonment. And we believe it starts with communication. Our centre operates an open phone line 24 hours a day, receiving calls from individuals facing the difficult decision to give up their beloved animals. By taking the time for a conversation, we delve into the reasons behind these decisions. Sometimes it's financial struggles, the need for veterinary care, guidance and training, or a lack of immediate housing solutions. We believe that these challenges can be overcome, especially when the person on the other end of the line is willing to work with us, to care enough to keep their furry companions. This winter, we met Kayla, an 18-year-old girl facing the complexities of life. Despite working 2 jobs and completing high school, Kayla found herself homeless with no family to rely on. Kayla approached us to surrender Prince, but it was clear she didn't want to part with him. That's when our intervention program stepped in, offering the lifeline she needed. Famous Fido Rescue housed Prince temporarily while Kayla stayed at a women's shelter. Every day, she visited him, forming a bond that transcended their circumstances. We ensured that Prince received all the necessary medical care and worked tirelessly to find an apartment for both Kayla and him. No easy feat for an 18-year-old without an established credit rating. But with the incredible support of our community, we made it happen. You, our generous supporters, pitched in to furnish Kayla and Prince's new apartment, providing them with beds and safe housing. Today, Kayla is completing school, working both jobs, and living happily with Prince. Our intervention program gave them a home to share, relieving both Kayla and Prince from unnecessary stress. At Famous Fido Rescue, we believe in the power of compassion and intervention. Together, we're making a difference, one conversation at a time.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Lubin and I'm the Executive Director of Crate Free Illinois. We just wanted to thank Famous Fido for inviting us to be a part of this event, shedding a light on all animal welfare. Please enjoy our video and get in touch with us at cratefreeil.org to help us help our farm animals.
Crate Free Illinois works to improve the lives of animals raised for food. Factory farmed animals are the most exploited and least protected group of animals on the planet. They have little to no protections from either state or federal animal welfare laws. The majority of animals used for food in the United States are raised on cruel factory farms where they're treated like machines. These are not the farms your grandparents grew up on. Over the last several decades, the industrialized animal agriculture system in the U.S. has consolidated into just a few enormous companies. There's something very wrong with a food system in which the best day of an animal's life is its last. Crate Free Illinois' mission is to reduce the suffering of animals on factory farms. We do this through consumer education and activism. We fight factory farms. We hold retailers accountable for the treatment of the animals they profit from. And we support our local farmers who treat animals and the environment with respect. We're an inclusive organization and welcome omnivores, vegetarians, and vegans alike. While more people are opting to eat plant-based food, we understand that others may choose to continue eating animal products. We ask consumers to remove meat from their diet or reduce their meat intake and replace factory and supermarket meat with more humanely raised meat, dairy, and eggs direct from farmers. All animals deserve to be safe, healthy, and free from pain or cruelty. As consumers, we need to make humane food choices. We need more laws to protect farmed animals, And more producers still need to transition away from inhumane and outdated practices like gestation crates and battery cages. Whether it's your dog or cat, or a pig, cow, or chicken, all animals deserve a decent life. Please go to cratefreeil.org, join the cause, and help the animals that feed us.
Behind the bacon lies a lifetime of misery for millions of animals. In 1976, here's what Hog Farm Management magazine advised. Forget the pig is an animal. Treat him just like a machine in a factory. After that, National Hog Farmer magazine said a mother pig should be thought of and treated as a valuable piece of machinery whose function is to pump out baby pigs like a sausage machine. And that's exactly what happened. On pig factory farms today, mother pigs are locked in tiny cages called gestation crates. Measuring a meager 2 feet wide by 7 feet long, these cages are so narrow, so immobilizing, these sensitive animals locked inside them can't even turn around. Here's how it works. Once a pig is inseminated, she's put into a crate for the entirety of her pregnancy. That's 4 long months locked in a cage, facing the same direction, standing on hard concrete, unable even to turn around. Before the pig gives birth, she's then moved to another small crate where she's left there for 3 weeks. During that time, she births and weans her piglets, still barely able to move an inch. Then, here's the worst part of it all. She's re-inseminated and the whole process starts back over. For a mother pig, this is virtually her entire life. Can you imagine enduring years on end on a concrete floor, locked behind metal bars, only inches from your nose? But things are starting to change. The Humane Society of the United States and other animal protection organizations are racking up major advancements in the quest for better treatment of pigs. Dozens of major food companies like McDonald's, Burger King, and Kroger have pledged to eliminate these cruel cages from their supply chains. And now, 20% of US states have passed laws phasing out the use of gestation crates. In response, some of the largest pork companies have dramatically reduced their use of these inhumane cages. But even those companies are still locking up mother pigs for the first 4 to 6 weeks of each pregnancy. And meanwhile, other major pork companies like Tyson Foods don't even have any plans to reduce their use of gestation crates. Pigs are intelligent, social animals who want to enjoy their lives every bit as much as our dogs and cats at home do. They deserve much more than a life inside a tiny crate. So please, share this video and help expose the secret the pork industry doesn't want people to know.
Did you know that the national average for the amount of homes that a horse goes through in their lifetime is approximately 7? That is really a lot when you think about things. Here at the Midwest Horse Welfare Foundation, we've seen horses that have gone through that many homes actually in a very short period of time. Horses live to be upwards of 30 years old nowadays with the great care that they're getting. And, you know, horses aren't as easy as cats and dogs to keep. You know, you have to have land or a place to board. And there many things can happen throughout a horse's life that forces them to have to find a new home. Here at the Midwest Horse Welfare Foundation, we help horses of all types, all ages, from babies to seniors. I'll even introduce you to a 35-year-old horse that we have living here later on in this video. But we're going to tell you a little bit about our organization and what we do here at the Midwest Horse Welfare Foundation. We are a 501c3 nonprofit charity dedicated to helping horses. We take in horses from the sheriff's department. We take in horses from people who just can no longer keep them for any wide variety of reasons. That can be from, anything from their kids losing interest to a job change, unfortunately, divorce, things like that. Just all kinds of life changes. You just never know what is going to happen in somebody's life, why they can't keep their horse. But we're dedicated to helping horses and keeping them out of harm's way. We take horses in that need rehabilitation. We rehabilitate them. We evaluate them for training. We evaluate their behavior. We evaluate what type of home they would need. And then if they're able to be rehomed, we look for the perfect home for them. We do have a few permanent residents here, of course. That sometimes happens. And we treat every horse with utmost respect and care. Quality of care and our capacity for care is very important to us here. And we want to make sure that we're doing the best in every respect for every horse that comes through our program. The Midwest Horse Welfare Foundation was founded in 2001, and we are 100% volunteer run. This means we have to do a lot of fundraisers to keep things going and take care of all of these horses. Earlier I mentioned Nitro, who is a 35-year-old horse that we've had for a few months here. Actually since December. That's quite a few months, I guess. He came to us a rehab case, and we rehabilitated him. And in looking through his story, we don't know exactly how many homes he's gone through in his life, but he was actually a camp horse, like a trail riding place horse, and those white marks you see on him, on his withers and underneath, that was from ill-fitting tack, and those are scars. So this boy put up with all of that throughout the years, and to this day, he is a sweetheart who is actually very sound and healthy, and he actually enjoys going for little rides and things like that, and just an all-around great boy. I could go on about every horse here and take hours of your time, but I won't do that. We work at keeping horses out of bad situations. We take horses in when they have no place to go. And like I mentioned before, we take in horses from the sheriff's department, in confiscation, neglect cases and abuse and things like that. And, from people who just can't keep them for whatever reason. And horses can wind up in bad places in their life when we look for a home for them. They go out on a contract to ensure they're going to stay safe, and they have to come back to us if their owner or adopter can't keep them for any reason. So we are a really good safety net for these horses, and that they don't go bouncing down the road like so many do and wind up in bad places. So all in all, the Midwest Horse Welfare Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit charity dedicated to horse rescue and adoption. Thank you all very much for watching.
The way that a cat is and the beauty that's in a cat, they're like no other animal. And they have a sense of self, and they have a sense of majesty, I guess it is. These are animals who sleep in our beds, who are our best friends, who are always there for us.
Why would anyone want to declaw a cat?
As a veterinarian, I've worked on 6 continents, but a lot of my patients are actually captive animals. In fact, they're actors. But I was also a veterinarian for animals who had wound up in sanctuaries or on animal compounds. Many of them are declawed and crippled. I would ask, why are all these cats declawed? And the answer, because it supposedly makes them safer to work with. This is when I realized that if there were this many big cats declawed and crippled, then there had to be millions of domestic cats who were suffering in the same way. It's not on the forefront of animal cruelty, but it's such an injustice in the fact that it's their doctors doing it to them.
It's a lot easier on your kitty when they're young.
That would be the equivalent of taking these cigar cutters and slipping my finger through and cutting this whole last bone off. And it's even worse because their doctors aren't telling what they're doing.
You can get them before they've had a chance to tear up your good new furniture.
And what that tells me is that people are elevating the rights of their sofas and their chairs above the rights of their animals.
Martin Luther King said, "Laws can't change the heart, but they can restrain the heartless." And that's when I decided the only way to stop these animals from being declawed is to make it illegal.
There's a saying that all that's needed for evil to prevail in the world is for good people to do nothing.
Nails. They come in pretty handy. I'm sure most people like their nails. In fact, there's people out there that love them. Cats don't have nails, but they do have claws, and they're a vital part to a cat's health and well-being. They use their claws to mark their territory, not only with visual markers, but they also have scent glands located between the pads of their feet. They're used for protection, help cats climb and balance. They're great for stretching out their muscles, and sometimes it just feels good to scratch. So when I see cats that have been declawed, it makes me extremely mad and frustrated. Not only are owners choosing their precious belongings over their cat's health and happiness, why the f do vets even do this to cats in the first place, knowing full well how devastating it could be for them? Declawing cats is a surgical procedure. Their toes are actually amputated at the last joint, removing a portion of the bone as well as their claw. Kinda like if I were to take these gardening shears and sniff off my fingertips. Obviously, declawing can cause many health and behaviour issues, such as hemorrhaging, abscesses, bone chips that prevent healing, anxiety, aggression, and litter box avoidance due to the pain in their paws. Cats naturally walk like ballerinas on their toes, but declawing them messes up their balance, forcing them to shift their weight and in effect walk on their wrists. This abnormal posture can cause many long-term complications, such as muscle weakness, arthritis, or back and joint pain. Remind me again, why do vets still do this? Cats are going to scratch on stuff no matter what you do, it's simply in their nature. But there's so many ways you could redirect this undesirable behaviour without resorting to having your fur kids declawed. In my opinion, it's a barbaric practice that should never have begun. I'd never declaw Coal and Marmalade, and I think it's time cat declawing was banned once and for all. Please check out the Paw Project documentary and visit their website pawproject.org to learn how you can help stop cats suffering with the click of a mouse.
Dr. Ken Welly. I am from the University of Illinois College of Veterinary Medicine with the Zoological Medicine Service. And today I want to talk to you about rabbit care. One of the things to know about rabbits is that they do have an 8 to 10 year typical life expectancy, and it's not at all unusual for us to find an 11 to 13-year-old rabbit that goes beyond that time. And so it's a long commitment, so you need to make sure you know what you're getting into. And one of the first things that we want to talk about is their diet. Lots of people tend to have some misconceptions about what rabbit diets are, but essentially they are grass eaters. Okay, so the way that we can provide grass for rabbits on a regular basis is by feeding them grass hay. There is also alfalfa hay, but alfalfa hay tends to be too high in calories and protein and calcium for adult rabbits, and so typically we like to use grass hay such as Timothy or orchard grass. And they should never ever run out of hay. That should be available to them at all times. Pellets are going to be a smaller component of their diet, and there are both juvenile and adult formulations. The juvenile formulation would be used for growing, pregnant, or nursing rabbits, versus rabbits that are no longer growing will get the adult formulation. And typically we want to limit the amount of pellets for adult rabbits because it tends to be higher in calories and it tends to not require very much work on the part of their teeth. Lastly, they can have greens, and so leafy greens can be given pretty large quantities. I'd say 1 cup maybe for a small dwarf breed and up to 2 cups for the larger breeds of rabbits on a daily basis. You want to limit super high calcium types of greens because calcium accumulation can sometimes cause some urinary problems for rabbits. You can look those up on the internet to find which ones are high calcium, which ones are moderate, which ones are low, and just kind of keep it on that basis. I should mention water. Rabbits drink a large amount of water for their body size compared to some other species. They need that water to process all of that dry grass, the hay, and so rabbits need to have continuous access to water, preferably in a bottle. It tends to stay cleaner that way, and so you don't want to let them let that sit for very long. Otherwise, the palatability and the cleanliness of the water is going to be affected. Okay, so next thing we want to talk about is where the rabbits live. Typical is a rabbit hutch, right? So a hutch is what we call rabbit housing. However, most pet rabbits are going to be kept in the house, usually in a cage for when they can't be supervised, but most of the rabbit cages are too small for them to be spending 24 hours a day in there. So we kind of want to think of that as their sleeping area, and then they need to have a room or a small penned-in area or something like that where they can get out and stretch their legs and move around a lot more. Otherwise, they tend to get kind of stiff and arthritic if they don't get enough exercise. Having multiple levels and that they can kind of climb up stairs or ramps or other things like that is also very helpful for keeping them active. Whatever you're keeping them in needs to be well ventilated. Things like enclosed plastic or enclosed glass enclosures are not very appropriate for them because they kind of trap air inside of them, and so it gets quite humid, and it kind of the urine odors are going to get accumulated in there, and you want to be careful about that. And then finally, we want the foot surfaces to be very clean, very dry, and non-abrasive. So the wire bottoms on the cages, while they traditionally were used, tend to cause foot sores on rabbits and probably are not appropriate for them for long-term care. So again, clean, dry, and non-abrasive is kind of the hallmarks for that. Rabbits can be litter box trained, but they're unlike a cat. They will not have an innate need to bury that waste. So they won't seek out a litter box. Essentially, they choose a corner where they want to produce most of their waste, especially their urine. They tend to drop droppings everywhere. And so you put the box in that area, and then you keep it super clean so that they don't ever have an aversion to going in there. And then you want to use a non-dust producing litter. Sometimes if their litter is too soft and comfortable and there isn't any place else for them to go, rabbits will sleep in their litter box, and that's not always the most sanitary thing. So ideally you would want to have a separate, soft, comfortable sleeping and resting area so that they don't sleep in their litter box. You want the rabbits to have plenty of enrichment, so they're not like a hunting animal, and so for them, exploration and exercise, chewing on things that are appropriate and safe for them, those are going to be appropriate enrichments. And then they need some social enrichment. They tend to do well if they bond with another rabbit that can be kept with them. And then obviously the human interactions. You want that to be frequent so that they're not fearful. You do need to be very careful with other pets though, because cats and dogs are predatory and can sometimes injure a rabbit pretty severely. So all that needs to be very supervised if they're going to have any contact with other species. And finally, veterinary care. The big thing is probably wellness care in general. So we want to detect and prevent our early health problems because they're going to be more successful to treat when we do it that way. And then it's also valuable to establish a veterinary relationship prior to the time when you have an emergency and you really need them. Likewise, we do have some reproductive care. Female rabbits should be spayed if breeding is not intended, because they do commonly get cancer in their uterus. It's the most common type of cancer in rabbits. And so they can get other reproductive diseases in the females particularly. And then obviously we don't want unwanted litters. And if you want to bond a rabbit with another rabbit, typically they have to be spayed or neutered. For the males, neutering is more behavioral than anything else. There aren't a lot of serious health conditions with the males other than they can get testicular cancer, but it's not super common. But this will allow them to be bonded with other rabbits. Anyway, I don't have much more time, so I'm going to end it there, but just keep in mind when you adopt a rabbit, they're going to need a lot of care, and they're probably going to need it for about 10 years. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Annette Prince, and I'm the director of Chicago Bird Collision Monitors, CBCM. We are happy to take part in this celebration of life with famous Fido. Chicago has a big heart, and its people are always ready to step up to help with critical animal issues. CBCM is a volunteer organization that has worked since 2003 to provide advocacy, education, and response for the protection of migratory birds in the Chicago area. We have grown from a dozen individuals to more than 200 volunteers throughout the city and suburbs, working to rescue and prevent harm to birds that share or visit our urban area. Chicago is fortunate to be the crossroads for millions of birds every spring and fall as they travel between their winter homes and summer breeding areas. Chicago Bird Collision Monitors have rescued everything from eagles to hummingbirds. Unfortunately, our skyscrapers and residences are filled with glass windows, doors, and lobbies that are deadly obstacles for any bird. Birds will die or be severely injured when they try to fly towards a glass reflection or through a clear glass area that they don't realize is a solid surface they should avoid. CBCM works closely with building management to assure that they minimize their lobby and building lighting during the nighttime and early morning hours of migration seasons when birds might be attracted towards dangerous areas of the city. Our teams go downtown every morning during spring and fall migration to recover thousands of birds that have fallen victim to collisions with buildings. We are out in the rain, the snow, day and night, during marathons, the pandemic, on bikes, in boats, on foot, in order to be there when the birds need us. Building staff and residents are important supporters who can alert us to birds that need help. We have found 200 different kinds of birds in just the 1 square mile of downtown we monitor each year. Warblers, sparrows, thrushes, woodcocks, woodpeckers, cuckoos that have traveled hundreds or thousands of miles between rainforests and northern forests will have their epic journeys tragically ended at a window in our cities. We are leading the work to enact requirements for bird-friendly building designs and products in Chicago. Let the mayor and aldermen of Chicago know that you want bird-friendly building requirements as part of the building code. Chicago Bird Collision Monitors provides educational programs to help homeowners, property managers, and architects understand how to minimize hazards for birds at buildings. We can help you find ways to make your windows safer for birds. Call us or visit our webpage. Our helpline receives more than 10,000 calls a year from the public, and our volunteers travel throughout the city and suburbs to rescue birds. Our volunteers rescue hundreds of birds harmed by other urban hazards: poisons, oil spills, traps, vehicles, shootings, fishing line entanglement, cat attacks, power line strikes. We recover birds in the water, on rooftops, in sewers, on highways, swimming pools, frozen ponds, and in trees, wherever birds have come into harm's way. With every bird we rescue, we are documenting and raising awareness to the dangers that need to be eliminated in order for birds to have safer passages and living spaces in our cities. Contact a local wildlife center or call our helpline if you have a question about an injured bird. Please volunteer or donate to Chicago Bird Collision Monitors to help us keep helping the beautiful and important birds that need our protection. Visit our webpage to learn more about our work. Thank you.
At Famous Fido Rescue, we are not just a shelter. We are a family, united by the love and dedication we have for our four-legged friends. Today, I want to take you on a heartfelt journey, a journey that transcends the wall of our sanctuary, the journey we fondly call Forever After. In the world of Famous Fido Rescue, we are witnesses to incredible tales of resilience and hope. Our journey does not end when these animals find refuge within our walls. Rather, it takes flight when they embark on the next chapter of their lives, their forever after. It's a chapter filled with love, laughter, and countless moments of joy that weave into the fabric of their newfound families. Picture this, a once abandoned pup now bounding through a backyard, tail wagging with unbridled happiness. Imagine the feline friend who, after facing the trials of the streets, now luxuriates in the warmth of a sunlit window, safe and content. These are the moments we live for at Famous Fido Rescue, the magical symphony of the forever after. The updates we receive from our adoptive families are not just messages. They are windows into the lives we have touched. They are the heartwarming stories that echo through our halls, reminding us that the impact we make reaches far beyond our shelter's walls. It is in these updates that we witness the true magic, the animals sharing their lives in meaningful ways, becoming integral members of their families. In the forever after, we see the real stars of Famous Fido Rescue shining brightly. Our famous rescues, once facing uncertainty, now take center stage in the spotlight of love and belonging. The families who open their hearts and homes to our beloved animals are the unsung heroes in this grand production, bringing the script of compassion to life. So here's to the families who've made our rescues the stars of their own stories. To the children who find joy in the antics of their newfound playmates, and the adults who discover solace in the unwavering companionship of a furry friend. The forever after is not just a chapter, It's a testament to the enduring power of love. As we celebrate the forever after, let us continue our mission with renewed vigor. Let us be the architects of more happy endings, the champions of second chances, and the bearers of hope for those who are yet to find their forever homes. Together, we create a legacy of compassion, one that echoes in the joyous barks and contented purrs of the lives we touch. Thank you, Fido family, for being the driving force behind the forever after. May our sanctuary continue to be a beacon of love, and may the tales of joy and transformation resonate far beyond our wildest dreams. Right now, I'd like to shed light on what it takes to keep this remarkable rescue going, and to express our deepest gratitude to everyone who has been a part of this journey. At the core of our mission is the unwavering commitment to saving lives. Every month, we face the monumental task of providing food, housing, and medical care to over 100 to 130 cats and dogs on site. This undertaking comes with a significant financial burden, as it costs approximately $40,000 each month. But let me assure you, every dollar is a lifeline for these animals. Beyond the walls of our rescue, we extend our care through the Intervention Program. This initiative reaches out to individuals in our community facing challenges with their beloved animals. From emergency vet visits to everyday vaccinations, housing solutions, emotional support certificates, and counselling on behavioural training, we are there for them in their time of need. Our rescue is not confined to species, it's holistic. We care about every living being on this planet, and we have designed our centre to reflect the diversity of the world and its inhabitants. The various rooms showcase the interconnectedness of all life forms, emphasizing the importance of our collective responsibility. I want to express our deepest gratitude to the speakers who've graced the celebration of life, speaking up for causes that matter. Your voices resonate beyond these walls, echoing the need for compassion and understanding. A heartfelt thank you goes out to our dedicated volunteers who, day in and day out, work tirelessly to keep the wheels turning at the rescue. You are the backbone of Famous Fido Rescue, and without your selfless efforts, our mission would be an uphill battle. To the adopters, you are the real heroes in this story. Your decision to open your hearts and homes to these animals makes an indelible difference. You are not just adopting a pet, you are changing a life. Our celebration of life is not just an event, it's a crucial fundraiser. The funds raised here are the lifeblood that sustains our mission. We extend our heartfelt thanks to our sponsors, donors, and especially our donation match partner today. Your generosity paves the way for countless success stories. As we look ahead, we have ambitious plans to save more lives in the coming year. We invite each one of you to continue being part of this incredible journey. If you're moved by what you've heard today and would like to contribute, please visit our website at famousfidorescue.org. On behalf of the entire Famous Fido Rescue team, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Your support, whether through time, resources, or donations, is what makes our mission possible. Together, we can make a difference, one paw at a time.
For joining the celebration of life today. We had a blast. I hope you learned a lot about other organizations all over the country doing great things for animals, from chickens to wild animals to domestic animals. We really enjoyed showing you all the different things that we do at Famous Fido, and I'd like to thank all the volunteers, all the musicians, all the speakers, and everybody that participated in the video. Without all of us together, we'll never accomplish the goal of saving animals, and I appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. Don't forget, please donate to Famous Fido Rescue. Without your support, we won't be here. We're going to have to get through a hard, cold winter, and it's a different time nowadays. Many, many people are surrendering, and we have to educate people so this stops happening. And what are our goals? We should be thinking about what our goals are next year, and one of mine is to bring as much information awareness to people to end the suffering to these poor animals. So thank you again. Paws up. See you next year.
Hey everybody, this is Sean Heffernan. I'm a musician from Chicago, a songwriter, and I just wanted to say a thank you to Famous Fido Rescue. for asking me to be a part of the celebration of life. Please, if you can, go donate, help the event, go help all the pets that need help out there, and we can raise some funds for our furry friends. And this is a song all about friendship. I'm sure many of you will know it. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Well, the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed. You just remember what your past said. Boy, you got a friend in me. Boy, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You've got trouble, I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together and see it through, 'cause you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I might, big and stronger too, well maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. Oh, you got a friend in me. Thank you very much.